My husband forgot our anniversary for the third year in a row. That morning, I found a receipt for a $3,200 necklace and thought maybe he finally planned something. At dinner, he handed me a card with a gift card inside, $25 to Olive Garden. That night, I saw the necklace on his assistant's Instagram. The caption said, "He told me I deserve everything his wife never appreciated." I waited 2 weeks, then sent her a message with screenshots of his bank transfers and the Venmo she didn't know about. The next day, she posted a video crying in her car. "He's not who I thought he was," she said. "Neither were you." I never wanted to believe my marriage was a lie. I built my life around this man. I believed in him. I believed in us. But believing doesn't stop the truth from slapping you in the face when it's ready. The morning of our anniversary, I woke up early. I had this dumb little hope he'd remember this year. Maybe he was planning a surprise. Maybe the last few years were just rough patches. I made fresh coffee the way he liked. Black, 1 sugar. I went to the diner down the street and got him that bacon egg sandwich he always said tasted better than anything I could make. I even wore that ratty old college hoodie he loved because it made me look like home. He came downstairs at 7:08. Didn't even look at me. Grunted morning, grabbed his keys, and left. No hug. No kiss. No happy anniversary. Just the click of the door and the low hum of his truck pulling out of the driveway. I leaned over the sink and stared at the gray sky outside. I told myself, maybe he's just distracted. Maybe he's planning something big for later. I didn't believe it. Not really. I started cleaning up, trying not to cry when I knocked over the toaster. That's when I saw it. A small white receipt tucked against the wall. Tiffany & Company. $3,200. A necklace. I froze. Stared at it like it might burn a hole through the counter. Could it be? Was he actually planning something? I started pacing. What if he was just trying to throw me off? What if he wanted me to think he forgot? I spent the rest of the day riding this stupid roller coaster of hope and fear. I curled my hair, put on makeup, picked out my nicest black dress. The one that still fit even though I'd gained 20 pounds since the wedding. Around 2 p.m., I got a text. Dinner at 7. That new Italian place you like. My heart raced. Maybe he remembered after all. Maybe this was it. Maybe all the fights, the cold shoulders, the lonely nights, maybe they were leading up to this. I got to the restaurant early. Sat in the parking lot for 20 minutes, wiping sweaty palms on my dress. He showed up at 7:10, looking tired, annoyed, like dinner was a chore. No flowers. No kiss. Just a distracted, hey. We sat, ordered food. He talked about work. About how his boss was an idiot. How the new intern couldn't figure out the coffee machine. I laughed in all the right places. I nodded. I smiled. I kept thinking, it's okay. He's just nervous. The necklace is coming. When the check came, he reached into his jacket. My breath caught. He slid a small white envelope across the table. I opened it. Inside was a basic Hallmark card that said, "Thanks for sticking with me. Here's to more years." And a $25 Olive Garden gift card. I stared at it. I actually turned it over in my hands like maybe there was something else hidden underneath. Nope. Just a $25 card. Not even enough to cover 2 entrees. I looked up at him. He smiled like he'd just handed me the moon. "Figured you could grab lunch with your sister or something," he said. I felt something deep inside me crack. But I didn't say a word. I nodded. I smiled. I thanked him. When we got home, he went straight to the living room and started playing Call of Duty. I sat on the edge of our bed, fully dressed, staring at the floor. Hours passed. I couldn't move, couldn't cry, couldn't think. Around midnight, I picked up my phone and started scrolling Instagram. Mindless. Empty. That's when I saw it. Melanie, his assistant. A picture of her, smiling like she owned the world, wearing a necklace that looked a hell of a lot like the one from the receipt. Caption: he told me I deserve everything his wife never appreciated. I stared at it for a full minute. Then another. And another. At first, I thought, maybe it's not the same necklace. Maybe it's just similar. But then I zoomed in on the pendant. It was the same one I had bookmarked last year. The same one I showed him when we passed Tiffany's in the mall. The one he said was too expensive for a necklace. I didn't scream. I didn't throw my phone. I didn't storm into the living room and demand answers. I just sat there, dead inside. Then I opened our bank account. And that's when it all unraveled. Transfer after transfer to Melanie. Amounts that made me sick to my stomach. He wasn't even trying to hide it. Some transfers said loan. Others had emojis, hearts, champagne glasses, stupid inside jokes I didn't understand. And then I found the Venmo. A second account. Same checking account. Notes that made my blood boil. Can't wait to see you tonight. Face-blowing kiss. Best weekend of my life. Heart. You're the only one who gets me. I stayed up all night gathering everything. Screenshots. Bank statements. Venmo logs. I made a burner email. Organized it all into neat little folders. Saved it to the cloud. It wasn't enough just to confront him. I wanted them both to feel what I felt. 2 weeks later, I made my move. I messaged Melanie from the burner account. Simple. Clean. Attached the folders. Wrote, just so you know, you're not the only one he's lying to. Then I waited. No response. No typing bubble. Nothing. The next morning, I checked her Instagram. She had posted a video from her car. Makeup smeared. Eyes swollen. Crying like her heart had been ripped out. She said, "He's not who I thought he was. I can't believe I let him fool me. I thought we had something real." She was sobbing so hard she could barely get the words out. I watched it 3 times. I felt nothing. No joy. No sadness. Just empty. And then, at the end, her voice cracked as she said, "Neither were you." I stared at the screen for a long time, because it hit me harder than anything else. Somehow, in her mind, I was part of the betrayal too. Maybe because I stayed. Maybe because I smiled at her when she came to our house for BBQs. Maybe because I played my part in the lie. I didn't message her back. I didn't apologize. I didn't explain. I just turned off my phone and started packing. Packing was harder than I thought it would be. It wasn't the clothes. It wasn't the dishes. It wasn't the wedding album sitting dusty on the top shelf. It was the weight of it all. 10 years. 10 years of memories and milestones and moments that meant nothing to him. I packed my things quietly while he was at work. No yelling. No throwing. Just methodical folding and taping and boxing. I wasn't sure what I was doing yet. I didn't have a plan. I just knew I couldn't breathe in that house anymore. Halfway through, I found a little photo strip tucked inside a drawer. One of those stupid ones you take at fairs. Us, young and stupid and smiling so hard our faces almost cracked. I almost threw it away, but something stopped me. Instead, I tucked it into my bag. Not out of sentiment. Out of strategy. By the time he got home, I was gone. Left a single note on the kitchen counter. "Don't call me. Don't text me. You'll be hearing from my lawyer. I got a cheap motel room on the other side of town. Nothing fancy. Just a bed, a TV, and a bathroom that smelled like bleach." I sat on the edge of the bed, staring at the blank TV screen, wondering how my life had turned into a bad Lifetime movie. Part of me wanted to disappear. Change my name. Start over. The other part, the louder part, wanted him to pay. And not just him. The next morning, I went to a friend. Not just any friend. Danny. Danny who hated my husband from the start. Danny who once called him a used car salesman with better teeth. We sat in her tiny apartment, surrounded by piles of laundry and half-eaten Chinese takeout. She listened to everything. She didn't interrupt. She didn't gasp. She didn't cry. When I was done, she lit a cigarette, even though she'd quit 5 years ago, and said, Let's burn them both down. We started small, subtle, petty. I created fake email accounts and started sending anonymous tips to his corporate office. Anonymous tips about inappropriate relationships with subordinates, about misuse of company funds. I knew it would trigger an audit. I knew HR would have to open an investigation. Meanwhile, Danny, who was way better at tech than I ever gave her credit for, hacked into his old gaming accounts. She found screenshots, private messages, even more proof of his affairs. Not just Melanie, 3 others. One in accounting, one from a conference in Vegas, one from his gym. Then I turned my attention to Melanie. I didn't feel bad. Not anymore. She wasn't some innocent bystander. She knew he was married. She flaunted it. I sent her boyfriend, the one she'd been dating on the side, who had no idea about her little office fling a neat little package. Screenshots, bank statements, photos. I made sure it was anonymous. Within hours, her boyfriend posted a story. "Thanks for letting me know, whoever you are." Dodged a bullet. And just like that, Melanie's world crumbled too. I could have stopped there. I could have walked away, wiped my hands clean, started over. But I wasn't done yet. Because revenge wasn't enough. I wanted humiliation. I wanted the truth to bleed out in public. So I planned one final move. Something they couldn't recover from. I gathered every screenshot, every transfer, every message. I wrote out a timeline. A neat, brutal timeline of his lies and betrayals. Then I scheduled a post. Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, even Nextdoor. Every social media account he had. Every platform where he bragged about his amazing marriage and work-family values. The post would hit at exactly 8 a.m. on Monday, right when his boss, his parents, his friends, and all our old high school classmates would be checking their phones. I made sure of it. And then I waited. Monday morning came like a loaded gun. 8 a.m. sharp. The posts hit every platform like synchronized explosions. Facebook, a clean, formal post with photos and dates. The necklace. The receipts. Screenshots of Venmo transfers. I captioned it, 10 years of marriage. 3 affairs. Thousands in stolen money. Happy Monday, everyone. Instagram, a carousel. Image 1, us smiling on vacation. Image 2, Melanie wearing the necklace. Image 3, screenshots of bank transfers. Image 4, Venmo notes with kisses and hearts. Caption, when your assistant posts a necklace with the caption, "He told me I deserve what his wife never appreciated, but you are the wife." LinkedIn, colder. Sterile. To whom it may concern, my husband, his full name, currently employed at company, has used joint marital funds to conduct multiple affairs, including with a direct subordinate. I am releasing this publicly because private conversations failed. Transparency is a gift. You're welcome. And then, just for good measure, I dropped a post on Nextdoor where all the neighborhood wives would see it before yoga. If your husband goes to the same gym as mine, you might want to check his Venmo. Just a neighborly heads up. Within 30 minutes, the text started. First, from his mom, "Sweetheart, is everything okay?" Then from his cousin, "Holy S******T. Are you serious?" Then, finally, from him, "What the F*** is wrong with you? Take it down. You're ruining my life. This is harassment. I'll get a lawyer." I didn't respond. Instead, I posted a simple story. When a man's life gets ruined by the truth, maybe it was never a life worth protecting. That afternoon, I got a message from one of the other women. Not Melanie. Not the gym girl. This one was from Vegas. Her name was Erica. She sent a long message that started with, "I had no idea he was married. I am so sorry." Then she added, "He told me his wife left him because she cheated. I even met his divorce lawyer. It was just one of his drinking buddies pretending." That's when it hit me. He wasn't just a cheater. He was a pathological liar. He built entire worlds out of lies. And I had lived in one for 10 years without knowing. Meanwhile, Melanie went dark. Deleted her Instagram. Blocked comments. Took down her LinkedIn. But it didn't matter. People screen recorded her car video. It ended up on TikTok. Someone made a cheater exposed edit and set it to dramatic piano music. It got 140,000 views in 2 days. She couldn't scrub it if she tried. Then came the real fallout. Tuesday morning, I got a call from Danny. She was laughing so hard she could barely breathe. Check his company's website, she said. I did. His bio was gone. Just like that. No press release. No announcement. Vanished. I checked his LinkedIn. Updated. Open to work. Then his email bounced back. He was fired. I should have felt relieved. Proud. Victorious. But all I felt was a strange kind of peace. Not joy. Not closure. Just quiet. Like the war was over and the silence was heavier than the fighting. 3 days later, I got a letter. Not an email. Not a text. A letter. Typed. Formal. Signed with his full name. He was deeply regretful. He wished things had gone differently. He never meant to hurt me. But the last paragraph? That's what sent my blood cold. You humiliated me beyond repair. I lost everything because of you. I hope you're happy. I'm not done with this. I read the letter 3 times. His words didn't scare me. They didn't even anger me. They just confirmed what I already knew. He wasn't sorry. He wasn't ashamed. He was just furious that someone finally showed the world who he really was. I folded the letter neatly, tucked it into my growing file of paperwork, and moved on. The next few weeks were a blur. I met with my lawyer. Filed for divorce. Filed for financial misconduct. Filed for emotional damages. Turns out when you can prove your husband used shared assets for affairs, it isn't just grounds for divorce. It's grounds for punitive damages. And in a no-fault state like ours, financial proof makes a judge very sympathetic. My lawyer was a bulldog. Sharp. Cold. Brilliant. When we filed, we included everything. The $3,200 necklace. The bank transfers. The Venmo screenshots. The testimony from Erica and the other women. The public posts that proved reputation damage, but framed carefully, legally. We didn't ask for half. We asked for 70% of the assets. The house. The cars. The retirement accounts. Everything. And because of how reckless he was with the money, the court didn't just agree. They froze his accounts immediately. Meanwhile, Melanie tried to rebuild her life. She got a new job at a coffee shop. No more fancy marketing firm. No more company trips. She posted a healing journey blog that got torn apart by internet trolls. And the best part? Her old boyfriend, the one I had sent everything to, started dating someone new. Someone who commented on Melanie's crying video with, "Girl, actions have consequences." As for him, my soon-to-be ex-husband, he spiraled. Fast. No job. No money. No reputation. Friends stopped answering his calls. His parents, good, church-going people who believed in marriage and honor, publicly distanced themselves. I heard through the grapevine that he had to move into a crappy one-bedroom apartment across town. Couldn't even afford a couch. Sleeping on an air mattress. Working some dead-end temp job. Meanwhile, I moved in with Danny temporarily, then got my own small rental closer to the city. Started a new job. Got a dog. Painted my kitchen bright yellow just because I could. The divorce dragged for 6 months. He fought. Oh, he fought hard. Tried to claim emotional distress. Tried to smear me as vindictive. But the paper trail didn't lie. Every Venmo. Every transfer. Every cheap lie stacked against him. In the end, the judge awarded me full ownership of the house. 75% of our joint savings. All rights to my retirement fund without penalty. Court fees paid in full by him. When the judge read the ruling, he didn't even look at me. Just stared down at the table like a man who finally realized he lost not just the battle, but the war. The final nail? Right after the papers were signed, I did one last thing. I mailed him something. A small box. Inside, a copy of the Tiffany's receipt. A printout of Melanie's Instagram post. A shredded $25 Olive Garden gift card. And the old photo strip from the fair, torn down the middle. No note. No return address. Just a reminder of exactly what he threw away and what he would never, ever get back. I don't hate him anymore. Hate takes energy. He's just nothing now. A ghost of a man who thought he could live 2 lives and get away with it. And when I finally moved the last box into my new place, I sat down on the floor, cracked open a cheap beer, and toasted myself. Not because I won, but because I survived. And in the end, that was the best revenge of all.